Welcome back to another episode of the Jovial Pursuit. I'm your host, Jovi, with my co-host, Brandon. How we doing, Brandon?
Yo, good.
You
It's good to be
peeped the
back.
hat? You peep. Little hiatus. Been a little busy. You know, gotta take care of you down here. So we had our baby. Woo!
What?
Woo! I
Congrats.
feel like if I could do like reactions, I'd do it. Hold on. I'm not gonna do it. You got the
What?
reactions on your side. Yeah.
Wait.
It said
Come
no.
on.
That's how we start the show. There we go.
Hey.
I was gonna be like, I'll just put it in post. Like, but the rocket ship's got to do it.
I mean, that's how you got there. You had liftoff. Am I right?
Yo, shut. I thought you were saying rocket ship was penis. So you got in there and you blasted off.
For sure.
Absolutely, kids. That is how children are made. Biology would tell you, you got to stick a little something in there, do a little jazzle, and leave it. And then, you walk away for about...
Yeah.
I don't want to say walk away for 9 months because that sounds like you deserted.
Yes. Yep.
Just don't walk away. Just like sit in the other room for a little bit. Just
I mean, that is what killer whales do, though. The dads just kind of like do that, and then they're like, "Well, I'm gonna go back to my mom." So
go hang out with my later. Mom.
That's what they do. Like when we were on that whale watching tour, they're like, yeah, they just go off, and sometimes their mom is like, "Hey, you should go like hook up with that lady, and then come back to me." Like, man, killer whales are the worst. The more I learn about them, I'm like, they're beautiful creatures, but
yeah. I need to pull clips from all the episodes we talked about whales and see your downslide because you've made a full U-turn.
Yeah. I started out being like, no, they're amazing, and now I'm like, nope. No,
was it almost this time last year?
It might have been. But yeah.
I got a baby.
Let's see. She's over a week old, right?
Yeah. She'll be 2 weeks old on Monday.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Already 2 weeks old.
Already, things been flying by. I was tired. I took a nap.
Did you get pooped or peed on yet? Really? Oh.
Why are you excited for that?
Spit up? Cause I just
not like a lot, like just like a little dribble. Listen, there's plenty of time.
I was just gonna say it's okay. We got time to get those like. I feel like we should probably create, like Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts have like badges that you earn. I feel like parents should have some of those.
Yeah. Y'all just get a sash.
Yeah. Because they're it'd be a slight upgrade just for all the things that parents go through. Like where you just be like, well, the only thing I get out of this is a new badge.
Poop down badge.
All right. Yep.
I'll take it. I mean, it's not my favorite, but I'll take it.
No. Yeah, and like, so how was it being dad in the labor experience? Because you and I kind of talked about like the dads that we didn't want to be, where like the wife goes into labor and the dude like comes in with like an Xbox under his arm. Like,
yeah, you got that didn't happen to me.
Nope.
So quick run back when he was having, what was it, your first?
No, it was
one of them.
It was our third.
And you were trying to play I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna be like these other men. Screw the TV. I'm here for you.
No, it was like labor had kind of stalled out because labor is kind of like a weird roller coaster, man.
Facts, dude.
So labor stalled out, and my wife was like, "Hey, I know your favorite football team So I'm a Green Bay Packer fan. And she's like, they're playing right now, and it was a meaningful game, and so she's like, you should turn on you should turn it on because like nothing's happening here. Like we're kind of stalled, so we're just kind of I'm gonna chill, maybe nap a little bit. And I was like, there's no way I'm doing that, honey, because I'm not that guy. Like I'm the guy that wants to go into the grocery store like on Valentine's Day and be like, oh y'all coming in here panic. You didn't plan anything out. You're not. Nah. Like same thing with labor. Like I came in like, no, I'm gonna be up when you're up. I'll sleep when you sleep. Like I'll eat when you eat. Like we're in this together.
That's
Like
what I said.
yeah. And she was like, no, turn on the game. I want to watch the football game. And I went, there's no way you want to. And she's like, no, I do. And I went, well, she's been into football recently, I suppose, maybe. And she was like really emphatic that I should do that. And then I turned it on. And no sooner had I done that, the nurse comes walking on in. And my wife looks at the nurse and goes, can you believe him? Can you believe him? And I was like, no way did I just get played.
Bro, you got played so bad.
Yeah. And she just laughed and laughed and laughed. Had the time of her life at my expense. Fine.
Oh, man.
You did not allow that to happen.
I did not allow that to happen. My wife had to kick me out eventually to go eat because she's like, I've been eating. I'm resting some. Like, I know you want to be here, but you need your strength. And I'm like, first of all, lady, I get my strength from the Heavenly Father. I'm good over here. These are words I actually said to her. Like, I don't need no food. I'm good off the grace.
you think this is maintained by food?
Never has been, never will be.
Well, you might have a point. I am a little hungry.
Okay, she wasn't wrong. She wasn't wrong. But okay, hear me out. Like the last thing I had was a sandwich 24 hours earlier. And the only thing I had before that sandwich was 2 apples earlier that day. And the only thing I had before that was something at like 5 o'clock the day prior. So it's been real bad on the eating tip for July over here. Yep. So she knew, but I'm like, bro, I'm here. We in this together. I don't care. Nah, I don't need to sleep. I'm sleeping when you sleep, and you ain't sleeping. So here we are. And she's like, bro, just go eat. So I eventually relented, and I got these little chicken tender and fries, and I had a fry in the elevator on the way back. I was like, son of a bitch, this is the best fry ever. it wasn't. I can guarantee you it wasn't. Oh, yeah. But I was
like
hungry.
One of the really soggy ones.
It was like a crinkle fry, no less. I don't really go for crinkles, so I was like, they don't hold salt the greatest, and they're never like as crispy with like a little grease as regular fries.
Yeah,
it clearly was baked, and I was not, so that made eating difficult. So anyway,
slide that one in there.
I eat a couple fries. I'm like, you happy? She's like, thank you. And I pretty much just left that meal to sit there. I had like half the fries and called it a day. Didn't even eat a chicken tender until the next day.
Oh,
bro. Ooh. When I'm in a stressful situation, food is the last thing.
Oh yeah. I mean, I get that. I was just thinking about the experience of trying to eat that nasty chicken tender like later on. Like
it was cold, it was hard, it ain't have no flavor. I threw the rest out. Like,
also, hospitals, you guys got to get better at your food. Like,
not just food. Get us some damn beds. Cause the little skimpy ass chair that I had to sleep in, I wanted to hurt somebody because listen, I'm about to say some stuff. It could be misconstrued if you want it to be, but I want y'all to know this is not about ladies. This is not about y'all. Anything that I have to say from this point forward until I say I'm done here, Ain't got shit to do with y'all, so hush. Okay, this is for my conversation is for the men who really want to be there, be present, be assisting proper. They get no due respect at all. We're not offered any meal. Most hospitals don't offer skin to skin time immediately in their protocol. They give you a skimpy ass little chair, maybe a little wall like bed that you could, huddle on. This is ridiculous at this point in time. If we're paying $30,000 to $50,000 to give birth in your hospital, I better have at least a blow up mattress or something. Give me something. Give me some food. Listen, all them bandages don't cost $50,000. You get them for 33 cents. So I'm so sick of y'all. Cause I gotta do this a few more times. Cause we plan on having more babies. And I'm gonna be there, just like I was for my first.
Yep.
And it's just ridiculous that there's like nothing given toward them toward us at all. Like, and I would say it's up to the nurse's discretion, okay? Because they're first on in any room where it's like, okay, this husband looks like he's helping. Maybe I might offer him a meal. Give me something. I'm in here doing the thing. My wife had to kick me out so I could go get some food and be there for it. Like, that's clearly someone who's trying to like be there. Throw me a celery stick. Something. Don't make me pay for it. I will say, they didn't kick us out of our spot. We had pulled up in the maternity like little spot. They got like a 1 hour parking. I guess it's for like quick appointments or whatever. Yeah, our car stayed there for like 3.5 days. I went to go move it, and they were like, "Nah, dude, you're like your wife's in the maternity ward." Yeah, it's fine. I've seen people stay there 2-3 days. I've seen workers park their car there for the day, and I'm like, "Oh, so I'm not paying for valet." Okay. Dope. That was the one benefit that I had. Other than that, y'all did me dirty. And I'm upset. Not you, ladies. Ladies, this ain't got nothing to do with y'all.
Yeah. I will say it is wild. Have you gotten like the itemized bill yet?
No, and I know it's coming,
dude. When we got ours, like my wife is a nurse, right? Mm-hmm. My wife, we like all the kids. She would pack ibuprofen, bandages. Like, she'd pack all the stuff, and so if someone would be like, "Do you need some pain meds?" She'd be like, "I'm good." Like, if she was like, "You're just gonna give me ibuprofen, but it's gonna come from the same sort of bottle. Your version is like $75 a pill, and this is 13 cents a pill." Like,
it's ridiculous.
Like the blatant sort of robbery that happens on those, you're like, no.
Nah, I intend on calling. We gonna go through this because y'all gonna explain to me why this price is this price. I've seen way too many of the videos where it's like, yeah, our hospital charged us $75,000 and we were only there for a day, and I'm like, excuse me? No, that's not how that works. That's not how that works.
I mean, it's a little bit how that works.
Yeah, they gonna try me. Y'all gonna fuck with a real one today.
Can you be on speakerphone for that? Can we like listen? Like,
I'll cuss somebody out, and they'd be like, no. "Hey, y'all gonna have to call back."
No. Because here's the thing: the people that are picking up that phone are not the people that are deciding on that policy.
I know. Oh,
but that's where I'm like, get me to that person.
So that's part of my thing is if we can't keep holding that as the standard, because that's like in my opinion, that's like saying like cops can't do anything about their policies that they enforce. No, you can start to say this is ridiculous, and we're not going to uphold this as an office because it's
Yeah,
outside of what should be the realm of possibility.
true. Like internally, they could probably make some
Start
different
advocating things
Yeah.
like that. Same thing with waiting and tips and that whole culture. I'm like, the same thing goes for y'all. If y'all not saying nothing or trying to fight back to your bosses, fuck off. Like, you're just as bad. You're just as culpable. All of it falls in line. And it takes those individuals at the bottom that really start to aggravate things, or they become whistleblowers like, hey, they're doing this, that, and the third. Remember, you got power, people. The fuck? What's wrong with y'all? You got power. Use it. I'm out here.
Yeah.
Self-righteous is all get out, apparently.
All right.
It's
Yeah.
sickening. It's
You're in a whole mood.
Bro, I'm a father now. I gotta start dismantling the system. All right. I didn't care about your kids, but my kid's here. So let's do this.
Now that my kid's here, now we gotta do like
I'm in the building now, so I feel like I can actually do. It's no different from how I feel about mental health, and now I gotta go to school and be like, all right, I'm in the building now. I can do stuff. It's the same thing.
Fair enough. I mean, better late than never. Like,
Yeah, absolutely. And it's
so.
oh yeah, go ahead. Before I
Well, I was gonna say, like, so then this topic? So you and I talked a little bit about it, but you hadn't really like considered it too much before the hospital brought it up, though. Like the postpartum experience for dads.
Yeah.
What has that been like?
In our short stint, I found that there's going to be a couple tough occasions that come up. One of which is remembering that we're a team. We're not just individual mom and dad. We're a team. So we need to make sure we're working together in it. Because especially when the communication starts to dissolve, it sets up for both people for failure. It's one of those things. It's always been at the forefront of my mind to make sure I can be as attentive to my wife in postpartum because of what they go through, and never recognizing that I still have to take care of me. Like they always say, hey, make sure you're taking care of yourself too. It's gonna get tough in there. They don't really express like, hey, you might go through depression yourself. You might have anxious anxiety attacks or fits of anger and things like that where you don't know where it's stemming from. You're no different from her in this. So I got to make sure that I pay attention to that as well, where yes, women go through much more on the hormone side. But the thing that's not talked about often is they have hormones that help along their way as well. And we talked about the massive amounts of oxytocin that is released when the baby is birthed to help them forget pain. I'm traumatized by what I've seen in that birthing room. I've seen something. I've seen my wife in a way that I have never seen her before. So just swollen. And listen, it's I want to say, because most women, again, they're in the moment, they're pushing this, that, and the third, so they're like not seeing everything. From my perspective in that, I'm like, I'm seeing you in pain. I'm seeing a beautiful moment of our child coming out. There's a billion people in this room to make sure everything's going all right. There's a lot on my mind, and I gotta keep cool whole time. And it kind of replays in my head a little bit. It's gotten better over the past few days where I'm like, wow, that was that was an experience. I saw my wife in pain for nearly 24 hours,
Yep.
and there was nothing I could do to like stop it. And I know she wanted to approach it certain ways, avoiding medication if possible. And I wanted to, abide by her wishes in that. And then having to just see her writhing throughout the night, throughout the morning, constantly, it's like, I wanted to cry. I'll be the first to tell you, I wanted to cry. And I was constantly fighting back my tears until she finally got the pain medication and the relief that she needed for it. It was heartbreaking, and I told her when it came to that, like, yo, I want you to know, I don't make this decision easy, like saying my part in it easy, because I know you've wanted to do this a certain way, but dear, you're hurting my heart. This is crushing me, and I can't keep strong for this when I know we can do something about it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that's gonna just live with me, is seeing her face and her body in agony. That's tough.
Yeah.
I need to do more in making sure I keep my mental health right in this, because of being hyper fixated on hers. I kind of just let mine sit on the side, and that's not going to be good.
Yeah.
So just know I'll be reaching out, be like, hey, it's not therapy, but I just need to talk to a friend. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, those are some of the things that have immediately come to my mind, and there's not a larger discussion, and we wonder why men leave so soon, because they have postpartum depression. It's part of it, and we need to start recognizing it for what it is. Otherwise, we're just thinking men are like copping out and like, well, I can't handle this. Some women say they can't handle it. It's the same instance of I can't handle all of this overwhelmingness.
Mm-hmm.
Question for you: have you taught anybody about postpartum depression in men, or
Yeah.
how do you speak to them? How do you make them aware of it?
A lot of it is, I think a lot of it is trying to educate on what the experience is going to look like. Like I think I had mentioned to you, like that surge of oxytocin for moms is it's amazing. It's incredible what the human body can do.
Mm-hmm.
But there have been times where like for my wife, when she'll be like, we should have another kid, and I just remember going like, do you remember what that thing did to you? Like, yeah. Like I remember I didn't have any oxytocin flowing through me. I remember it like it was yesterday. And my experience, it's amazing because I love you and our children more than anyone else. Like if someone today was like, hey, you gotta like someone's gotta die, you or your wife or your kids, I'd be like, oh, easy. Like I'm going. Like, choose me.
Yeah.
No, and I'd smile on my face.
Absolutely.
Like, right.
Without hesitation. Before you finish that sentence, this one.
Yep.
Right here.
I volunteer. So, but it's a wild experience watching someone you love so much in the process of something that is kind of natural. Not kind of natural. It's natural.
Yeah.
But watching it go through it, suffering, and there's just nothing you can do to make it better. I mean, you can technically make it worse I suppose you could sit there and just be like, boo.
Or
this
turn
terrible.
on a football game.
But it's tough because, like, I think for a lot of dads in that role, you're looking for something to do, to contribute, or like you feel powerful or like meaningful or purposeful when you do something. And it's like you got to wrap your head around like I can have meaning, purpose, and power just being an emotional support, and this was uncomfortable to watch. And like sometimes there's scary moments.
Mhm.
Um, like for our first, like we had, um, we had back labor, and so that was a nightmare. But then they were like, hey, your daughter's like her heart rate's dropping, and so with every contraction I could watch it.
Mhm.
And then like everyone in the medical field, like that was my first go around with it. So everyone in the medical field, like we had I think like 6 or 7 different people there. It was like 3 different teams. There was one for like C-section, like we gotta go. And there was another one for like, vaginal birth.
As soon as the
then there
baby
was,
gets off, we got the
yeah,
team for the yeah.
yeah, and then there was like another one that was like, hey, in case baby comes out and like isn't really breathing. And so I'm like, we can do it, honey. And like we can like you've got this. And I'm like, I'm numb from like here down. I'm like, I got enough to like go through all of that. So I think it's part of like educating, like this can go this way.
Yeah.
Um and really afterwards you need to process through it. Not in a way like, so it's almost like giving them permission to have the emotions, have the experience, and not necessarily in a comparison way, because I don't know that I'd ever go to my wife and be like, if she was like, man, that was a really
Yeah.
tough labor, I'd be like, do you
You know what I went through? Yeah, I can't say those
Like,
words.
yeah, I wouldn't be caught dead saying that, but I would express like it's an emotional experience, and it's okay to process through it and be like, that was, I mean, I'm so grateful all of our kids are here. And I know that that's not always the case for everyone. Like there's some people that have different outcomes, and
Yeah.
I don't know that I think that's for me, unless I turn into like a daredevil of some kind and start like doing crazy sort of adrenaline junkie things, like that sort of line that you're walking in watching the experience of between like life and death and the fragility of what that looks like that's unnerving. And so for those, what do you do? Why are you smirking?
You just gave me a good reminder, because being bipolar, I've been known to do some risky stuff and to not care. Yeah, I got ooh. Yeah. That was
Okay.
valid. I was like, fuck. He doesn't know it yet, but he's calling me out.
Well, it's like like you're sitting on that sort of razor's edge.
Mhm.
And it's weird because the medical field around me kind of was like, it'll be fine. And I was like, I know it technically will, but it doesn't, like, I haven't gone through this before, so it doesn't feel like it'll be fine. And then you go through it like 2 or 3
Really?
times.
I'm actually surprised by that because of the background in the med field. That's what kept me good in this, actually.
So my wife is in the med field. I wasn't. I mean, I'm a therapist, and like
I'm not in the med field for real, but well, I was.
you might as
Yeah. No. Okay. Never mind.
you're about as close as you can get.
Okay.
And it's this, when I say like, it's not always necessarily the razor's edge, but emotionally your mind just starts running sometimes. And sometimes you're trying to rein it back in.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think especially in a world where some people have this illusion of like control over outcomes that we never really do, there's moments like that where you're like, it's almost like this crisis of like, I can't make it better, I can't make it worse, like I'm like powerless here. And some people are like, yeah, welcome to real life. And then there's other times that people haven't danced with that dilemma a little bit. And I think that's part of like what I've educated on. Like sometimes there's some internal turmoil that go through it. You've got a lot of resilience. Like, don't be surprised if you have lots of emotions, but talk about them. Like,
Yeah.
even if you can't put words to them, just trying to even if it's like word salad, when you're just like, blah, just go, just see what happens.
Yeah.
But
don't
sort of
keep
makes
it in
sense. No.
Mm-mm.
No.
Keeping emotions in has never really worked out for anybody.
Mm-mm.
Not, and there be a resolution.
Yeah. Yep.
That's good points, because most men have a tendency to invalidate their emotions and feelings off rip, so they cast it aside. Where I'm like, no, this is now more than ever the time to be looking at them and understanding them.
Well, that being able to identify emotions, express emotions, and like it doesn't diminish the experience at all of mom, doesn't diminish the experience of you as a dad. It's just
Some do take it that way, just because you are voicing your opinion, and that's my little jaunt for you ladies out there. Yo, give the man a space to talk about it, and not put yourself at the center too, because that's the tendency, is to be at the center. It was my pregnancy, I gave birth, so on and so forth, but he was there and he has feelings. Let's acknowledge them. There's a lot of things that are overlooked. Like, again, we've kind of danced around the situation of the men who are there but like aren't, they're checked out.
Yeah.
They're playing video games, they're watching the game, they're just not attentive. And fuck you guys, like, that's your kid too, so eat a dick for that. But also, ladies, give the man a space, if they've been there and attentive, to express his feelings and talk about it. Like, that's just, we gotta fix our standard in some of this.
Yeah.
But
yeah. The other thing I'll sort of educate a lot of dads on is kind of how to build attachment with their kiddos.
Skin to skin, and giving them smooches on the head top.
Yep. Like, be tender, be connected. Skin to skin is huge, because I think a lot of dads don't really realize, like, babies come out and they know mom. They know her voice, they know her smell, they know her, like,
her heartbeat,
they know
sound, all that.
Yeah. And so as a dad, like, when you want that attachment with your kids, you gotta like actively, intentionally build it.
Yeah.
Actively, intentionally, like skin to skin, talking to them, kissing on the head, like singing to them, like, yeah, like, just like, you gotta, like, it's not like the kid wakes up to one day and is like, Dad, I like you. like you gotta kind of earn that a little bit, and you gotta kind of work towards it. Like, yeah,
absolutely.
Come out, they know mom, and then some guys, I've seen some guys that will either feel discouraged by how much baby is like comforted by mom or feels at ease. Like, you can get close to that as dad, where you can comfort baby. But then I've also seen some guys use that as an excuse, like to not get up in the night, or like not help, and be like, they only want you. Well, no. They want who they know and who they feel comforted by. Sometimes they are indeed hungry. Sometimes they're sad, or sometimes they're hurting. Like, because they went through a process too. Like, I'm not gonna lie, that's not like just taking a trip down a water slide. Like, that was, woo.
It's really not.
Like, you got your skull squished and like
toned out.
Yeah.
Like
people pull on limbs. Just, yeah.
Bro, the way I saw the doctor yank on her head, like, turned her shit. Hands off my child, but also get her out, and then get your hands off. Yeah.
Isn't that weird though? Like how they're like, they have to. Yeah. And then as soon as like baby's out and crying, they're like, ooh, it's like so gentle and like, here you go. And you're like, wait, you were just
like yanking.
Yeah, like,
because I saw him just cranking on her. Any other place, you'd think he was a chiropractor. What are you
Yeah.
doing? But also, babies are like super malleable, so they're fine.
Yeah.
They're like super fine. Um, Over the coming weeks, I'll probably end up mentioning just like different babies. Guys, it's a baby show now. Okay, it's fatherhood. We talk about it. We here now. Listen, I've just been waiting for this day. We're here. I've just been waiting for this moment where I could shift the show from just talking about random frivolous stuff to now you guys have to hear about my child and the amazing thing that she is every week. And then like some mental health stuff. Like
Yeah.
everybody still needs it.
Oh yeah. We'll get to all of it.
We'll get back to that. I'm just super excited. She's been a joy to have here. Little scared, had to go to the NICU, but all's well now. Everything's on the up and up. Yeah, so that's been fatherhood for the past 2 weeks. It's been good. It's been real good. Also, get you guys a good friend who will pay for you and your wife to have a meal because they don't want to cook as soon as they get home from the hospital. Bro, when I tell you that was a lifesaver, like, the people need to know you're a good friend,
Dude,
you're a good friend.
I wish we could have like somehow shown like what that exchange was like, because
Bad.
no, I mean like I mean,
I could pull up the text.
no, I mean like when you text and then I read it, it was like this weird, like it was like some sort of weird dimension, because I read it and I was like on it. It was this weird. It was like, if this man is texting me this way right now, there's no time to lose. What you want? It was like this weird. It was a weird thing.
Bro got into action mode. Like he suited up like a Power Ranger. Wallet. Bro, we
This
were
is the
so
guy that
tired.
Like just like, comes in and throws the wallet at people. Ah! Yep.
You just got a money suit on now. You turn into that weird guy from the 90s who's always standing outside the Capitol building.
Yeah. What was his thing again? I can't remember. Was it like a tax guy?
No, like he helped people with grants and stuff. First of all, homie's still working. He's still helping people get these grants. I follow him on Instagram.
Can we get him?
Bro,
to like show up for this?
if I could, I would.
You need no. You need to DM him like this.
Send him
Like,
a message.
hey. Like,
We loved you in the 90s, and
we
love to
need
have you on our show. Dude, he's got just as much energy as he did back then. Like, he's still kind of like a little, yeah. I mean, it's toned down, but like you could still see he's lively about it. Yeah, dude, it's actually funny. He puts on like, he does like lives from his house and talks about different government programs that are there and available for people. Like, pretty much all money ranges he talks about. Yeah, so it's pretty cool.
Good for him.
Oh, before we go, I got my quick piece of advice. Be pliable, be malleable, be able to take on the changes that are gonna come in this world. Rigid things break, malleable things bend. You know, you'll bounce back if you learn to just take things as they are, the changes as they're coming. On that note, we'll bid you adieu. Peace and love.